Okay, we played Duke. Okay, how's everybody doing?
Good. Good. How are you, Coach?
Good.
When you watch them play compared to the way that you watch your team play, do you get them confused at all? They seem traditionally more like how you like to play, and you seem traditionally how they like to play.
Wow. When I watch them, the part of that question is exactly right, because they do try to get the ball inside more, and here I am shooting threes, so I get that part of it there. Last night I was on a recruiting trip, and on the plane coming back I watched their St. John's game from Saturday. Before that I'd seen maybe 5 or 6 minutes of Michigan State, 5 or 6 minutes of a conference game. I can't even remember which one it was, but I hadn't watched them very much. But those two big guys are a load. And, we've had some big guys like that, whether it's Tyler Zeller, John Henson, Tyler Hansbrough, Dion, and Ed Davis, that kind of thing. So it does present unique matchup problems with them. You've heard me say 100 times this year, I'm really concerned about defending around the rim. I've never said those things when we're getting ready to play Duke, and that's not a cut against Sheldon Williams or anybody. It's just that we've always been concerned about doing a good job on their three-point shot. So it is different for sure. I hadn't considered that we had swapped places. I don't know how comfortable Mike is. I'm not very comfortable at all, I can tell you that. But they're really gifted. And college basketball, teams are going to lose some games because it's just who it is. And teams like Mike's that are 18, 19 years old, you might get a bigger swing of their level of play than you would if they're older. And I think I've seen that with my team. And, everybody says, well, you got Joel and Theo, and we do. But we also got the big freshman, and we also got Luke, who's in a completely different role than he's ever been in his life. So there's a bigger fluctuation for us, too. But I thought Wendell was as good as anybody in the country. I really did. I went to see him play, and I just thought he was off the charts. And Marvin Bagley's just off the charts with what he's done and his talent level and what he's done. I mean, he's produced. It's not, this guy was really good in high school. I mean, he's averaging a double-double in the ACC against a really, really good schedule. And so I've got a different tape I'm going to watch tonight, and maybe I'll figure out some way to wiggle my nose like Bewitched and get them to start shooting threes, make me feel a heck of a lot better.
As big as they are, do you anticipate using both of your bigs at the same time a little bit more like you did the other night against Pitt?
No, I'm going to stay with what I said 2 games ago. I'm going to use my big guys a little more than I was when we went small, because I just think that's the best thing for our team and best thing for our program. We always get a little bit into matching up with other people, but we got to play who we need to play, and we need to get better.
So playing them together for the stretch that you did the other night had nothing to do with getting them ready to.
Oh no. I mean, we did that. I'm serious. You guys think I'm lying, but they played together earlier in the year. It's just you guys are watching somebody else play, but they really have played, and they play together every single day. I don't have it down here in the practice plan. They're together every single day, but I did 2 or 3 games ago is when I came in and said I've got to get my bigger guys some more playing time.
Roy, Duke leads the country in offensive rebounding percentage. The stats suggest that your team is really good at defensive rebounding. I'm curious, with the small lineup in particular, how is that going?
And I said it the other day, the stats sometimes don't tell the truth, because you take out a couple of those outrageous games. And last year we were pretty solid all the time about rebounding the ball, rebound margin, and all that kind of stuff. And you can go look at the stats and maybe find that I'm wrong. If it is, that's okay. I just don't remember the fluctuations. But this year we've had some really big-time rebound games and some really big negative rebound games. I really like that consistency. Last year we were a much better offensive rebounding team with the numbers, percentages, and all that stuff. This year I think we're a better numbers defensive rebounding team than we were last year. But I was more comfortable with my rebounding last year in the really big games because we had Isaiah and Kennedy who were experienced and were just really good rebounders. And then Justin really made a concerted effort, as Theo has been recently with his rebounding. And Tony was just Probably if you'd done Tony's 40-minute figures, he might have led the country in rebounds. And so last year I was just so much more comfortable about the rebounding. I didn't talk about it nearly as much as I have this year.
Do you anticipate Seventh being able to play? Since you kind of
I put him down on practice today, and I did not put limited, and that's the first time that I've had him on practice that I did not put him into the limited. We have an out category, we have a limited category, and we have a coach is really mad at you category, but today we don't have anybody in all three of those numbers.
Theo said after the game Saturday how much fun he had playing point. What did you like about what he did?
8-1. It really was. I mean, because he was trying to make plays. You know, the people, boy, his follow tip dunk was, I said, yeah, that's the only one he had. I would remember that too if I were him. But that's impressive. The only thing you've got to understand, if he does that, who's defensive balance? You know, so we've got to break some habits. Because one man's supposed to be getting back his defensive balance unless one man goes through for a layup. And that's the case, then the two man's back. And poor Andrew, I put him in a game at Clemson as a one man, and he didn't get back the very first possession. But Theo is a playmaker. If a couple of those shots had gone in, it would have been one of the best statistical lines I've had in a long time.
Regardless of what happens with the other backup point guards, do you anticipate maybe using him more because of the variety that he brings?
I think it would depend on what level that Seventh game is, but also Joel's level has been pretty high, but we've put the ball in Theo's hands a lot. So I don't think his role would change dramatically just because I list him first on the board. I mean, it's still he needs to get the ball and he needs to make plays. And isn't he our leading guy in assist anyway? And I would guess his assist turnovers as good as anybody's too. So I don't see it changing dramatically just because we tell him you catch the first inbounds pass.
What do you need from him in your best world from Theo? I mean, he has that huge scoring game against State, which is ultimately a loss, and other games.
I didn't need it that day. If we still lost, well, I wish he'd saved the suckers and used them on another one. I think he needs to continue being the stat sheet stuffer. You know, I'd like for his field goal percentage to be better than 1 for 6 or 7, whatever it was the other day. But 8 to 14 rebounds, the 7 to 11 assists, the steals, the lack of turnovers. You know, and I guess it was the Clemson game. Theo and Joel and Luke. I think we had, and I'll miss this, we had 14 turnovers. So they had 11 of them. We can't stand that. But that's what I need from Theo is to put some numbers down every positive category and be an all-around player.
Has he been the guy you recruited, like turned out to be the player you anticipated he would be?
You know, it's changed. And you got to understand, the guy's had 3 surgeries. It changes people. It changes their body and the whole thing. I saw him make 21 out of 22 free throws in a summer league game one time. So the fact that he's making the free throws, I saw that. I saw the great passing, and that's what we've seen. He is a playmaker, and I saw that in high school. I had hoped that he would be an even better defender, and he hasn't gotten to that level of a defender that I thought he would, and yet he's been a better playmaker. And yeah, everybody wants to talk about the shooting percentages. I'd like that for be better, but not any more than he would. So I think, to answer your question, when I went through about every category there, I think he's matched what I'd hoped he would be, and with the team and building the team, he's probably far exceeded what I could have ever imagined as far as being a team member and adding certain qualities that really need to be there.
Last few seasons, your team, or Mike Krzyzewski's, has been in a spot to still vie for the #1 spot in the ACC when this matchup arrives. How does the dynamic of this game hold up despite it being basically Virginia's to lose at this point?
Well, you know, it depends on who you talk to. I mean, I've always thought the regular season was extremely important. It was extremely important to me. And people are going to say you like it because you've won it more often. But I thought that when I was an assistant, it was a marathon. It wasn't a sprint. But people that win it usually tend to be the ones that like the regular season. You know, they tend to lean that direction more. I always have, and I'll never change. I used to get criticized because supposedly I wasn't that much thrilled with the ACC tournament, and I made the comment about it. It's the South's biggest cocktail party and got more letters than I'd ever seen. But the regular season's important to me. And, you know, it's going to be hard for us. You know, it really is. But that was our immediate goal with the team. And so we're still going to try to play as well as we can play. And, you know, I can't speak for Mike what he feels about it.
The dynamic of the rivalry, though, how
Yeah.
does it
Oh, I
change?
think, hey, if we were 0-12 and they were 0-11, hell, there'd be people out there filling the place up so they can talk, you know. And I just don't know if Mike or Roy would show up if we were 0-11, 0-12.
Would that be by choice, or you wouldn't have the choice anymore?
Both. We would probably be fired. If we didn't, we'd probably try to figure out a stop for speeding or something.
Coach, with the team playing NC State for the second time this week and having lost them the first time, are you worried at all about them looking past Thursday's opponent to the weekend game?
How long have you lived in this part? I mean, I'm being serious.
I'm not being serious. How about a better?
I like your attitude.
How about a better question? What is it like playing the two of them back to back? I know you're probably not thinking about State. Because
Yeah, you answered it yourself. We're not talking about that. I mean, I had a guy getting on my butt at the restaurant Sunday night about North Carolina State, and I'm thinking, you know, I went back at him, and somebody said, I said, hey, he started it, you know, this kind of thing. But, you know, God almighty, we're playing D-U-K-E. I know how to spell the damn place, okay, yeah. D-U-K-E. If you think one of my players is thinking about somebody else, then my mother told me 1,000,000 times she was going to shoot my rear end, and I never worried. But if I thought they were doing that, I would say it, and they'd better be worried, okay.
Roy,
where did you grow up?
I grew up in Raleigh.
Okay.
Mr. I saw when you sat down, when you sat down, you said, oh, we're playing Duke Thursday with a smile. So
Last night I called Mark Turgeon's TV show because it was a radio show because it was his birthday. And they said, you're playing Duke Thursday. I said, oh, really?
I'll just play along with you, Coach.
All right, you're good.
you are playing 3 games in 5 days.
Mm.
Only team in the ACC to do that this year. Curious your thoughts on that. Did you have any kind of input on that scheduling?
Depends on who you talk to. I don't necessarily like it. I definitely don't like that we're the only one doing it. But Paul called and said, we've got a stretch for you. That's going to be very difficult, but we need to do it. I said, all right, let's do it. You know, does that say that I was asked if I would do it? If I'd have said no, would they have changed it? I didn't get that impression. Okay, I didn't think he was asking for permission. I thought he was asking for forgiveness. Okay, and so it's, you know, but it's a schedule. It's what the hell we play. You know, that's the way I look at it. I think Notre Dame plays Saturday, and I think State, they don't play Thursday. I think they play Tuesday or Wednesday. But no, you can. Anybody in that office over there in Greensboro, every time they've sent me the schedule, I've said, okay, we'll play it. You send it to me. Have I ever done anything I don't mind you disagreeing. Yeah. You know, but he said, you got a tough stretch. I said, no joke. That doesn't sound very nice. But it sounded like it was something that the league needed to do, and so I said, okay.
Is the world big enough for both the Caroline family and the Duke brotherhood? I stole that from you, right?
Yeah, no, they stole it. But they're intelligent. They gave it a new name, you know, so that's good, you know. But, you know, I think everybody would probably like to have their program where they feel like that about it. And I think that everybody would like to have their players have a strong feeling of family or brotherhood, you know, whichever one you want to use. I was quoted, I want to make sure this is straight too, I was quoted one time as using the word brotherhood, and I did not, okay, because I always say family. I haven't put a hashtag on ours or anything like that. I did look it up.
Now you know what it is?
I did look it up.
Oh, good for something.
Wanda said, what in the crap are you asking that for? But
Did Wanda know?
yeah, she did.
Point it out,
She's a little more educated than I am about all the technology nowadays. But you know what it is too is I think, and I'm being very sincere here. You know, we all have the little things you get mad about, all things that you don't think, well, why'd they do this? But the bottom line is there's a tremendous amount of respect. I think no one has more respect for what Mike Krzyzewski has done at Duke than Roy Williams. Does that mean we agree on everything? No, but on almost every major issue for 30 years, we've agreed on almost every major issue when we were on the board of directors in ABC. But I tend to try to coach to beat Duke because it's Duke basketball, not because it's the brotherhood. But it's what it is. Kind of
Theo caught himself saying
You're the best, Joe. Excuse me.
Theo caught himself saying brotherhood last Friday in the presser. He got about halfway through it and stopped. And
Is that
having
right?
fun with it.
He didn't tell me that kind of thing.
Is there, you generally speaking have 3 and 4 year guys, is there any nature of the rivalry that's changed by the frequent turnover of the players with one and dones? Or is it still the names on the front?
It's still the names on the front. I mean, you guys won't believe this, but I think strongly we've had more guys leave early since I've been here than they have. Period. We just haven't had the one and dones. Okay, we've had Marvin, Brandon, Tony, but we've had more guys leave early for the NBA, and it's what the kids should do if it's the option is there. I don't have anything against that. I've said 100 times, I tried to recruit. I tried to recruit Harry Giles. I tried to recruit Jason Tatum. I tried to recruit Luke Kennard. And go down the line. I tried to recruit Zion Williamson. So how can I say something bad about somebody that did the same thing I did? They just did it a lot more successfully. But I don't think it has changed the rivalry in my viewpoint. I really don't. Whoever they put out there in a Duke shirt, this is the team that we're going to try to beat, and I would assume that whoever we put out there, they're going to beat. One year I got so mad at my team over there, and I took guys out that were just ticking me off. And I put in the 5 toughest guys I could find, and we ended up winning the game. Because sometimes you just got to go by the seat of your pants.
Mike, you mentioned seeing people play.
Wait a minute, what?
Whoa, hang on, what's that?
Now you're going to piss me off. Okay.
What did I say, Mike?
As far as I know, old Roy's the only one sitting his butt up here. Yes, he said, Mike. Hey, Art, the Patriots lost. Get over it. And I tell you, I was pulling for them too. And that was hard for me to say, but I was pulling for them. 16 players on our team, we voted. 13 picked the Patriots, 3 picked the Eagles. And after the game, I heard a screaming all the way at my house. Theo, Joel, and Luke picked the Eagles. Everybody else picked the Patriots. All right, Doug, go ahead.
Okay, Mike. You mentioned seeing Wendell play. Which of their freshmen did you actively recruit?
Wendell, extremely hard. Did it early and decided that it wasn't going to be us. Loved him, had the funkiest looking hair at that time, and he could really play. I visited with him, his mom and his dad, saw him play a lot. Just think he's a great kid, great player. Marvin, we had some discussions. Since he was reclassifying, I chose not to continue recruiting him, but had great discussions with his dad. Wonderful player, wonderful kid. But when he decided to reclassify, that wasn't something that fit into what we wanted to do. Duval, saw him play a lot, did not try to recruit him. Gary Trent, saw him play a lot, did not try to recruit him. Grayson played with Joel Berry on the same summer league team and didn't really recruit him. Delaurier really tried to recruit him hard. Anybody I'm leaving out? Anybody I'm leaving out? All right.
One more on recruiting. Is it still the rule that your former players cannot help you in recruiting?
No, they relaxed those rules now. I think when they're on campus, you can visit with them when you're on campus. Is that about it? Is that about it, Eric? Yeah.
You don't have to shield Michael anymore.
No, when he's on campus, no. And when I was an assistant here, I used to be able to try to get Michael to call somebody, but I wish that the head coaches had the Michael Jordan rule too. I wish in recruiting head coaches couldn't call. I'd really like that. I don't mind getting on the plane and flying somewhere and seeing a game and flying back. I'd rather do that than call a kid. So, but I think, Art, that's about it. Is when they're on campus, they can have conversation.
Coach, can you tell us what's happened in the past week with Mr. Felton?
You know everything I know. They.
Tell me what you know, 'cause I know this much.
Well, that's the same amount as me. We were informed on Monday of last week that he had been suspended from school by the school. We took him off the practice court and during our stretching, and he had a conversation over the phone with someone, and that's when we were informed. Am I right? And wasn't it Monday?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is the athletic department involved in any investigation with him?
Not that I know of. I'm serious. I'm not trying to hide anything. I don't know.
And no one from the university told you anything until he was told, is that correct?
He really can't comment on the details of it all. We said last week what the university can say. That's really all he can comment on. So, okay, thanks.
Yeah. I was going to say about what he said. But it's easy because I don't know what to say. So it's easy. Plead guilty by dumbness.
Just ask one.
Yeah, that's one of us, right? Anybody else?